What's up, everybody? Squirrel Man's back again. I'm up here in Ohio, Groveport, Ohio. Man, I couldn't tell you how many times I come here when I was with CRST, when I was doing pharma. And it's funny because I see a CRST truck right over there. Um, yeah, I've been here so many times I can't even remember. I'm picking up a load in the morning or about around noontime tomorrow and going to Tennessee, which is nice because, man, I haven't been to Tennessee in so long. I think the last time I was in Tennessee was like one of the last runs I did with Biscuit. It's been a while. You see, I finally got, I got this beautiful little pond over here. You all see that? It's a man-made pond, but I appreciate ponds because I built one in my backyard, except it has koi fish in it. Um, yeah, so the reason why I wanted to make this video today is because I want to talk about mega carriers versus smaller companies. Somebody commented, um, and if you're watching this video, you know who you are. He was watching I think the video I did last night, and he was like, "Well, if you're worried about freight," he's like, and I got a few comments about that video about freight. Some people said things like, "Why don't you go haul food?" or this, that, and the other thing, and I tell you, the reason why I wouldn't want to do food, I got nothing against hauling food. It's just that if you know me by now, I'm a political person, and I'm afraid that the economy gets way worse than it even is right now, that there could be a food shortage. And if there's a food shortage, that means there's no loads, you know? So think what you want, but that's where I stand on that. But I see where he's coming from because food is consistent, you know? If it wasn't for what I just said, then yeah, hauling food would be a great idea. Um, the main reason why I wanted to make this video today was because if you want to talk about mega carriers versus the little guy, I have no experience working for the little guy as far as trucking companies. I've never done it. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I would love to. And if you're a new CDL guy, if you just got your CDL and you can find a job with a small mom and pop company that really has really has their stuff together already, and you can see, they got multiple trucks, they're making money, they've been in business for maybe 5 or 10 years already, then go with it. Don't go work for somebody that's just starting out. Don't do that. You can risk it if you want to, but in my personal experience, I wouldn't do it. Me, I've only worked for these mega carrier types like PAM, CRST. Now I'm working for Bar None. If you want to do that, there's nothing wrong with that either. The reason why I say that is because of the complete opposite of what I just said. There's a lot of job security in it. They've been around for a long time. They have a shit ton of trucks. They already have multiple yards. They have mechanics to work on their trucks. They have already got everything set up. They got their feet wet. It's a question of whether or not you're going to make a lot of money. I can't say one way or the other, depending on what company you go to. I've been eyeballing Martin. People have been talking about Martin, and to tell you the truth, before I came to Bar None, I almost went to Martin. And the reason why I didn't was because when I talked to the recruiter, he said everything I wanted to hear, and it sounded awesome. I was like, dude, can I do regional? He's like, yeah. I was like, where are you gonna send me? Because I'd like to go, the southeast, like from Carolinas down to Florida. He's like, that's exactly where I'm gonna send you. You're gonna be going back and forth, from Carolinas down to Florida, Georgia area, right? I said, man, that sounds awesome. I said, can you send me a rental car to get me to orientation? He said, no, I'm gonna put you on a bus. I said, fuck you, I'm not doing that. I said, no. And the way I feel about it is, if a company wants, and this isn't bashing Martin, because you might be working for Martin, you're watching this video, and I've never worked for him, so I don't know. But in my experience, I'll tell you a short story. I almost went and worked for CR England before I went with Pam. This was like, I had my permit back then. I had almost no experience. And CR England had 2 yards that I knew of at the time. They had one, I want to say it was in like Pennsylvania or Ohio or somewhere around there, or somewhere on the East Coast. And then they had another one in Salt Lake City. And this was in the middle, this was like January. And they wanted to send me to Salt Lake City. They wanted to put me on a bus. I'm like, dude, why don't you just rent me a car or something? He's like, it's got to be a bus. I'm like, you want me? And this was when there was like crazy blizzards out that winter. I was like, you want me to get on a bus and go all the way across the country in the middle of the freaking winter? I'm like, no. It would take me a million years to get there. Like, we're not doing that, you know? So that's why I never went with CR England. That's why I called up Pam later, and they were like, no, we're gonna send you to the school, which sounded good to me, which was only a few hours from my house. You know, it was in North Carolina. So that was that story. That's how I ended up with Pam instead of CR England. But the reason why I said that is because I just felt like in the moment when I was talking to Martin, if you tell me you're going to put me on a bus, to me that's like a red flag, you know. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because I'm still eyeballing Martin a tiny bit, maybe in the future, or as a backup, you know. If I need to go to another company, that might be a backup, you know. If you're with Martin, please respond. Please leave me a comment, because I want to know how you feel about Martin. Tell me how long you've been there. What's your average check? You know, what's your driver manager like? You know, tell me anything you're willing to tell me. I want to hear it. I'll listen. I want to thank everybody for commenting on these videos. You guys don't realize, but you give me a lot of material to make videos about, you know. So, a lot of people, you don't even think so. You're asking me questions. I'm like, wow, that's a good idea. I should make a video out of that. So anyway, yeah, that was kind of my opinion on the mega carrier versus the smaller guy. Like I said, I don't have any experience with the smaller guy. Would I go with a smaller guy? Yeah, hell yeah, I would if it was the right company. Like I said, if they knew what they were doing and they were willing to pay me like guaranteed money, you know. And I would have to hear it from some other people. Like, this is definitely good advice. If you listen to anything I ever say, if you're thinking about going to a company, I don't care who they are, look them up on YouTube, find some other drivers, you know, watch their tutorials, see their opinions, you know, as many as you can. Just like that Pam video I made, they got like an ass ton of views, you know. I bet I helped out a whole lot of people with that video. But anyway, yeah, if you're thinking about going to a company, don't just blindly go in there. You know, look up the history of them, look up the reviews, hear some stories from other drivers before you do anything. But yeah, the reason why I go to the mega carriers is, like I said, is, you know, it's job security. You know, you're not going to get rich doing it, but if I don't like one, I can go to another. And if I ever tell you guys anything, a CDL, once you have a CDL, you're like a free agent. A CDL is a fuck you card. That's what it is. You know, if you don't like this company, you can go to another company. Now, don't just quit or be a flake, you know, put in your notice, you know, you got to cover your tracks, you know, because you don't want to do that all the time. Then people are going to call up and ask about this guy and be like, no, that guy's a shithead. Don't hire him, you know. So just cover your tracks, be responsible, be an adult, you know, but also don't let anybody disrespect you. Don't let anybody, you know, treat you like a doormat either. So I hope I answered some questions. I hope you guys got some good comments coming my way. I really appreciate you guys. And I just talked to Biscuit like 10 minutes ago. He's really excited to come over for Thanksgiving. I told him, I was like, yeah, dude, we got to make a video. We'll put out some content. I would love for you guys to see his face again. And he was really excited about it, man, because he don't do the YouTube thing, you know. He only did it back then because I was doing it, you know, and we had a lot of fun. He kind of like motivated me, but he, you know what I mean? It's like I gave him a push, but he liked being there, if that makes any sense. Anyway, please leave some comments, or especially if you're with another company, and don't forget what I said about Martin. If you're with Martin, I really want to hear from you. I want to hear your absolute, total opinion of that company, whether it's good or bad. Anyway, like, share, please like, share, subscribe. Common sense ain't common.